I know there's whispering going on. Right, guys, I'm just going to put some music on. It's lovely to see you all. Okay, I'm going to switch off my face camera. Perfect, that's just me. Hopefully you can I haven't checked the height. I'm all over thither because we didn't have people in normally. That's not catching anybody. No, that'll do. Right. Now you know that because I haven't read my notes, we are absolutely going off piste. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to start in seated. That I do know. So welcome. It is so lovely to see everybody. Thank you for joining this block. It's brilliant. Just been a week of yoga. This is my 5th class. So I'm totally delighted to be doing and sharing so much yoga with everybody. It's wonderful. So where are we going? I've got at the top of my page, Garudasana flow. We shall see. We'll go where we go. See how people feel in the room. Let's just take a moment. So if you do have a blanket, just draw yourself up slightly so your spine is just a little bit elongated. Alishka, do absolutely as much as you can and as little as you want. Don't go upside down, please. So we're just going to take a moment with the breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Just finding that rise and fall, finding maybe a gentle Ujjayi breath. We're going to just drop the left hand, lift the right to the sky, and bring it all the way across on an exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, just gently bend the elbow behind. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. All the way back to center. Take a pause. Inhale, lift. Exhale, just fold forwards. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend the elbow. All the way back up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. And just draw the hands back to the knees. We're going to interlace the fingers. Draw the palms very gently away from you. And then just round the spine, tuck the chin to the chest. Take that down all the way to the mat. Turn the palms to face towards you and lift all the way up. And then just take this across to the left-hand side. Inhaling all the way to center. Exhaling across to the other side. Sweep the hands behind you, interlace the fingers, and just take a stretch, opening the collarbone, opening the chest. Drop the chin if you wish, or you can keep this open. And then hands are going to gently come to behind you. Choices always. You can either just open the chest, draw the gaze up, or you can work through the hips and just take a moment here. And then all the way back when you're ready. Now, if you've got your water bottle to hand, then absolutely make sure you don't kick it over in the flow, and enjoy. Take a child's pose wherever you wish. So we're going to come forwards, just to stack back position. And just take a moment here in cat-cow, dropping the belly, looking forwards. Exhaling, rounding the spine. Draw that core up and in on another inhale and exhale. Looking forwards into cow. Exhaling, rounding the spine. Quite chirpy music for March. And then all the way, just circling the hips. Take some movement to suit. Remembering to reverse the circle. Coming back to that stacked back position when you're ready. And let's just check our fingers. So we're not pulling the thumbs and the first finger open and stretching things, but they are just gently placed. Thumb, push into that knuckle of the first kind of joint, first finger, the index finger, and then spread the fingers and claw gently at the mat. We're going to take a hovering cat, tuck the toes, draw yourself up into hovering cat. You can stay here, or you can drop to forearm hovering cat. Keep that gaze down, and then back up to hovering cat. Walk the hands a little forwards, but coming into downward facing dog. So push the belly towards the thighs and gently walk downward facing dog out. Or stay stacked back and just take a moment. We're going to walk the hands to the back of the mat, coming into a forward fold. We're going to inhale, flat back, your version. Exhale, fold. I've just widened my stance here a little bit, just for a bit of a change. Inhale, flat back. And then draw yourself, pushing through the feet all the way up to standing. Draw the hands gently to the heart. Take a moment here. Find your balance in mountain. Draw just a little length up through the inner thigh into the thighs. Feel the glutes just gently engage, relaxing the shoulders. Relax the fingers. Inhale, lift to the sky. Right hand takes the left wrist and just gently draws it over to the right hand side. You can take the right foot behind you if you want and just step through. You don't have to. The water bottle all the way back. Opposite wrist, bending gently across to the opposite side, stepping the left foot behind. If you want to, don't have to. All the way back to center. Hands all the way to the heart, and we're folding. So take an inhale, push into the heels, draw the core gently in, bend the knees, allow yourself to come to Uttanasana. Take a breath here. Dangling pose is an option. Remember, you can bend the knees. And we're going to walk out to plank. So you can either come down to all fours or you can walk forwards to plank. Nice long plank into the heels. Knees down if you wish. Push up to downward facing dog or come to the knees. We're going to meet at the top of the mat. So you can either bend the knees and step, or you can hop all the way to the top. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, draw yourself, and then inhale as you sweep up. Hands to the heart. Just gently take a moment here. And we're going to connect. We're going to use this idea of lifting our body up when we balance rather than trying to hunker down and make sure we don't wobble. If you wobble, let yourself wobble, okay? Just let the body do. Lishka, if you need a chair, I can grab you a chair as well. Are you okay? You sure? Do you want a chair to support? Are you okay? Okay, we can always grab one just in case, all right? Because you can always use one side and it's always there. So just shout. Into mountain. Hands to prayer, gently to prayer, floating the hands. Just bring the elbows in line with the forearms. We're just going to connect that left foot and lift the right all the way to the sky. Left arm's going to come under into Garudasana, into eagle. Oh, add a little balance into this. Open the arms, push forwards. And stay at the front. We're going to just step all the way back to high lunge. Inhale, high lunge, arms. Just be mindful of knees. We're going to draw ourselves to low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Sweep the hands all the way back and then sweep them all the way high. Right arm's going to come under now, Garudasana arms. If you're not so keen on wrapping wrists, you can use the feathers. So you can just use a single bind, it's much easier. We're going to sweep the hands behind us as we roll onto the heel. Just give ourselves a little kind of stretch all the way back through the back leg. All the way forwards into low lunge. Hands to the sky. Hands come behind us. As we do, we're going to step that back foot and push up to high lunge position. You can keep your feet quite wide if you want a really stable base. Inhale, lift to high lunge. And then either you can come to child's pose all the way down, or vinyasa. Plant the hands, step to plank. Do hold your plank for a minute. Or 5. Knees down if you wish. And then take a vinyasa of your choice. It might be chaturanga, where you're really working the shoulders and the arms to lift into up dog, or it could be bhujangasana. Meeting in downward facing dog or staying in child's pose just for the moment. And let's find our base. So you can either just keep breathing in a resting pose or in downward facing dog. Plant the hands. Push the forearms towards each other and the triceps towards each other. Don't push the chest towards the belly. Just allow that strength through the arms into the upper body and allow the neck to relax. Bend the knees softly, push the sit bones up to the sky, which still allows you to relax the neck. No pressure in the shoulders. Inhale, exhale, lift the core in and up. Soften the knees as much as you need. Bending the knees, looking forward, hopping and stepping to the top of the mat into Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back. And then draw yourself all the way up to standing. Hands to the heart. Take a moment. If you need water, just keep grabbing whenever you need. We're going to connect that right foot now and lift to the sky. Our right arm is going to come under into Garudasana. You have the squeaky floorboard, Christian. And then push the hands forwards, pushing through the heel at the front. Keep the hands forward, stepping into high lunge. Bring the hands gently behind you. Allow yourself to drop the knee into low lunge. Untuck the toe if you want to. Inhale, lifting all the way up. Hand comes down, supporting. You can just wobble that foot forward and allow a little stretch through the back of the leg. All the way forwards into low lunge. Bring yourself up, left arm inside right arm into little Garudasana, low lunge. Sweep the hands gently behind you, and as we just tuck that back toe, inhale, lift all the way to high lunge. From high lunge, either just take a mountain pose standing and just work with the breath, or a vinyasa. So you can come to a vinyasa if you want to, or you can stay in standing, just work with the breath. Because we're going to join you after we've come into downward facing dog. And after we've stepped to the top of the mat into our little flat back, or a root to rise if you so choose. Coming all the way, hands to the heart. Taking a moment. And just relaxing the hands. Giving the legs a shake if you need, the arms a shake. Saying hello to the hands. It's actually quite nice being warm, isn't it, in here? They've obviously had the heating on for a while, which is it's great. There we are. So we're going to play. Okay, mountain, here we come. Just watch your balance on this one. So we're going to just work through a little balance practice before we come into this. It's a bit like a ladder flow, I guess. So coming to mountain, connect the left foot and lift one leg to the sky, the right foot to the sky, right knee to the sky indeed. We're going to bring eagle arms into this, so the left arm underneath the right. Keep a single feather if you wish, or double the bind. Don't worry, that wobbling is allowed. Now you can either keep eagle arms, or you can come hands to prayer. We're going to come to tree with eagle arms. Your tree will probably be quite low. That's fine. Well done, Christian. That's superb. I've just seen you through my balance. Unravel the arms. Maybe take a mudra. Bring the leg up. So working on the hip flexors a wee bit in our wobbly balance. Wiggling the ankle is optional, but it does help. We're going to bring the hands forwards. As we do, we're going to push through that heel. And then we're going to, your hands, optional where they are, they can stay outstretched. We're going to come to Virabhadrasana 3. So we're going to come swing back. Your foot might be on the mat and you're just practicing here. That's perfectly fine. Or it might be that you come into Virabhadrasana 3, or hands to the heart is quite a comfy one for the shoulders. So wherever you are. And then we're going to just drop gently. So we bring ourselves into high lunge, arms behind us, just to give our balance. Brilliant. Inhale, high lunge, crescent moon. If you've got any back issues, just bend that back knee, softens the lower back. Hands sweep behind, Anjaneyasana into low lunge. Remember, you can do the 90-90 lunge. So if your hips are feeling like you don't want to dip into them and it goes to your lower back, we've got a high lunge, low lunge. Like that. I'll shout at you. I'll say, buffalo to the left, because you've got those leggings on. Coos, Highland Coos. Highland Coo to the left. Sorry, at home, Nick and Ma, Amanda's got Coo leggings on. I'm making everyone stay in low lunge for a while. Inhale, lift. And draw yourself all the way back to high lunge. One for the legs. Inhale, lift, warrior three. Remember, you can take Garudasana arms in warrior three if you wish. Lifting all the way through to that one-legged mountain. And then open the arms. We're going to come into a little figure of four. So catch the ankle above the knee and maybe hands to prayer. Coming to a little figure of four all the way down. Wherever you are comfy. If you've got the flexibility, hands to the mat if you wish. Relaxing as you come all the way up when you're ready. Well done. I know, Jenny. I put it down to age, but actually it's not. It's because the heaters have been on all day. Back into mountain. Take a moment here. Just see if you can find that balance between both sides. And I've just worked one side, so you might just feel a little bit off. We're going to inhale, lift the opposite leg now to the sky. Excellent. Eagle arms, so right arm is going to come under. Tree, if you've got a tree practice, whether it's below or above the knee. Remember the wobbly movement we've been working on. Draw that leg back to the front. You might want to come to Virabhadrasana, eagle arms, or not, hands to the heart, or keep your foot on the mat. Wobbling is good, says she. Back into high lunge, really wobbled there. Low lunge, dropping the knee. Take a moment here, inhale, lift. Sweep the arms behind, push back up to high lunge. Inhale, lift. Maybe hands to the heart, we come into little warrior three. And then draw that knee all the way forwards and up. Bringing the foot down. Relaxing through. Taking a moment, yeah, just adjust if it's squeaking too much, twist and just adjust off the board. Come to left a bit if you want, or the right. Inhale, hands to the sky. Really float the arms up. Exhale, draw them and take yourself into a forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back. Draw yourself down to the mat. Either come to a neutral spine position or come to plank. We're going into downward facing dog. So, and Alishka, if you're wanting to work here a bit, you can always come into Malasana, into squat pose and work with the hips, or come into butterfly, any of the seated, just while we do this. Gives you those options. And then we're going to push into downward facing dog. Okay, so we're just going to play with a little bit of side plank here. Anchor the left, lift the right.
So into tripod. Now remember, you can come into side plank by just dropping the knee down to the mat and using the knee as a support, okay, into side plank. Just to give you that option, but we're going to sweep the right foot all the way under to the left side into a little fall-in triangle and open into a little side plank variation here, fallen angel. Sweep the hands all the way back. Draw the knee and then the leg all the way back to tripod. Take a moment here in tripod by opening the hips. Bring that knee and hover it all the way to the center. Bring the right hand to the center of the mat. Come onto the left edge. This is where you can drop the knee in side plank if you wish, or you can pop your leg through into side plank variation. Remember, you can come knee under and then arm over. All the way back forwards into a plank. Either take a vinyasa down to the mat or take a child's pose. Meeting either child's pose or downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, the right foot connects, left foot lifts. Tripod. Bring the left foot underneath. Fallen, pyramid, star. Lots of names. Back all the way to tripod. Open the hip. Stacked tripod. Hover the left knee under the body. You can come into the side plank variation where the knee's on the mat, or you can come to the right edge of the foot, lift up, push through. All the way forwards, back into tripod, and back to downward facing dog. Come all the way to the knees, and allow yourself to come into a child's pose. And allow your hips to sink back, wide-legged, wide-kneed child's pose is a good one. Options here, you can stay in child's pose and you can work to both sides of the mat, stretching through. Or Jill's come into a really lovely position, which sometimes the body says, I want to do that. And she's come all the way forwards onto the mat and come into a prone position, allowing the back. Now, Alishka, you stay, but just allowing the back and just allowing that rest. So any resting position of your choice. And just take your time. Just allow yourself to relax into the mat, rolling the forehead. You might wish to lift up into a little locust pose, or you can come back up when you're ready and join me in an upright position. So it's whenever you're ready. Find a place that you're comfy in just for the moment. It might be on knees, it might be seated. If you're not keen on bending the knees, then just find a comfy seat. And we're just going to drop the chin to the chest. And then we're just going to gently take the head gently back. Be careful of the neck. Nose all the way forwards. And then take a half moon shape, just gently to one side. Bring the chin towards the collarbone and across. Just gently taking your time. Don't make yourself dizzy.
And then we're going to interlace our fingers behind our head. Just allow just a bit of support here. And just take the head forwards gently. You're not forcing the head forward. You're just allowing a little stretch. If you've got pins and needles at all in your legs, just come to seated. And then all the way back. And then just take this movement all the way, taking a nice circle with the top of the back, the neck. To any movement that's good. And then just allow the shoulders to lift. Maybe rotating shoulders. Keep going if you want to, you're enjoying. I'm just going to come to a seated position. You've got choices in this seated position. Just going to work on the shoulders just and the neck a little bit. So you can, if you want, there's options here. You can come to a butterfly position or you can come to shoelace if you want to. So just tucking one knee in behind the other. If you've got a cushion, sitting down on the cushion is good, unless you're feeling like you can come into a shoelace position. So this is an option. Sitting on blocks or sitting on something higher, if you're feeling a bit tight, helps. And if it's not the position for you, then come out of it, Dandasana, wherever. Can you take your feet out a little wider at all, or is it? So the other way of doing, I'm going to go off on a railroad here, off a tangent. The other way of doing it is on your back. You won't be able to do your shoulders, but if you're liking the hip movement, so bring the knees together across, and that allows you to come into a supported shoelace with the spine flat. So if you're loving this for your hips, but you're just finding sitting on it uncomfortable, play with this. And if you're wanting to play with the shoulders just for a moment, then that's an option. Or just come into a seated. So we're just going to take the right hand to the air. Palm is just slid by my ear. The left hand is going to come all the way out to the side. So the right hand is going to pat my back, and the back of my left hand is going to come in and up. Now, Amanda can demo this for you because she has the hairstyle tonight where she can take the top of her plait and the bottom of her plait, and you won't be able to see this at home, but what Amanda's doing is very clever. We had this discussion in the last class. And this just allows you to open the chest, the shoulders. And then just bring the hands through, just to stretch through. Just allow them to relax, allow the shoulders to relax. I'm going to come to the other side. Inhaling the left hand to the sky. And then that right hand slides, and then the back of the hand comes into the back. And then you pat yourself on the back on the other side. They don't have to connect, the hands don't have to connect. But you can use a prop. Just taking a moment here. And then just gently forwards, allow a little stretch. Maybe the right hand comes to the left knee and you come into a gentle twist. Keeping that back nice and upright. And then left hand across to the other side. all the way back to center. If you are not wanting to play with boat, you can just sit in butterfly, or you can work on a little supine twist here, or you can actually use boat as well, just with the hands just gently underneath. If you've been playing with shoelace, go to the other side and even it up a little bit. And just, we're going to play wherever you're comfy. So knees in line with the hip points. So that's it, just generally. If you've got a block, you can use a block. I didn't put my blocks in tonight, but you can use a block just to connect the inner thighs as well. And then play wherever you want to. You might come up into a little boat pose. You might, and just a little, make sure you're sitting on your sit bones evenly. I felt that I wasn't then. So make sure before you come up that you've got that evenness in the sit bones. I'm feeling very uneven, I have to say. And then that allows you, that's a little better. Maybe you come into full boat if you want to, or you can play with the side boats, lifting. Or just take a moment with the breath. Just allowing yourself to come into an upright position. You can stretch through the back here. An option while we're just here for a stretch, if you want to, is you can come to reverse tabletop. If you want to, lifting just gently up. Reverse tabletop is generally slightly easier than reverse plank, but you're very welcome to try reverse plank if you wish. Reverse plank is when we walk the feet away from us and then length through the front of the body, lifting through the chest. It's okay for some, it's not for others. Don't do it if you're, and then you can always come, oh, look, nicely into Dandasana. Dandasana is an option, which is lovely. So allowing yourself into Dandasana. Okay, so we're going to play with a bit more flow in a minute. So just miss things out or take a child's pose if you feel it's a little bit too much. If you're in Dandasana just now, just a nice thing to do is to bring the hand inside or over the leg, and it allows you a very gentle twist just through the spine. Remember that we're using that kind of center of the spine again, just the midline, to move. So it's the same process. So we're not all twisting at the waist. We're using that thoracic spine just to be allowed to move. And then we're just going to sweep the feet, come to stack back position. Just allow ourselves just to settle here. And let's engage the spine. Let's just push away from the mat and feel the shoulders just become quite sturdy. And then we're going to come into a downward facing dog. So just to avoid this at Lishka, if you want to, we're going to play so if you want to come and join us we're playing a side bind, low lunge, kind of high lunge position. So if you want to play down and then you want to come up and join us, you're very welcome to, just so you know where we're going. So we're going to come into downward facing dog. Just connect the left foot lift to the right tripod. Open if you want to. Opening the hip. And then bring that right foot forwards into runner's lunge.
And runner's lunge. We're going to just drop. So you've got options here. You can come up to side angle if you wish. So we can all come to side angle actually, because that will just open us out. So we're opening and just bringing the hand, if you want to, forwards. Or what you can do is you can come into a little bind here. So you can take the right hand with your right foot underneath it and allow, if you want to, a connection between opening that chest into side bind. Now, it is possible to walk that back left foot and come into little bird of paradise if you want to. Show you then. So I'm just going to show you this little move. If you want to, you can walk that left foot forward, the back foot. So the back foot can hop like a little birdie to the front. And then if you want to play with the balance, you can bring yourself into a little bird of paradise. I just came in my head, Jenny. So Jenny, okay, so watch. So I just thought, oh, that's a good one to go. Don't do this if you're pregnant. So into your little side bind, you were all concentrating too much. So walk to the front and then allow that right foot to lift up, opening the chest. I did wonder, because you looked like you were locked at the back. So it's the front leg. Jenny's doing a nose balance. So if you've just gone off and won at home, you can play with the balance there. That's it. And then lift that. That's it. Yay! Gentle, so open the chest before you open the leg. There we are, little bird of paradise. I just saw that. I was like, oh, we'll have a go. So now I've done that, let's go back into our little side angle with our right foot forwards. Yes. Brilliant. And you can open, you can slice your left hand behind. You don't have to bring the elbow up, the arm up all the time. You can actually open the chest quite nicely and opening the rib cage just by drawing the left hand into the lower back. Which leads us nicely to push through that front leg and come into a little Trikonasana. You can come into a Trikonasana where we hold the arms above our head, which is quite an upper body strengthener. Or you can just work in Trikonasana. Push through that front foot, come into warrior two. Hey, sigh of relief. And our warrior two. So let's think about our bodies. So try not to push the pelvis underneath. Bring the pelvis so it's neutral underneath you. So let's inhale. Exhale, draw the core just gently in. Relax the shoulders. And push the heels as if they're coming towards each other. Sweep the hand back, reverse warrior. And then all the way back to runner's lunge. Take a moment here in runner's lunge. Options to come into child's pose or just mountain or come into plank. Again, option child's pose or vinyasa, back to downward facing dog. Meeting at the front in mountain. Taking a moment in mountain. Come over right by a foot. Because it's really annoying you, Christian. That's it. Try that. Better. Good.
Yes, that's better. It's not nice when you've got distraction. Inhale, lift. Exhale, gently fold. Inhale, flat back. Fold all the way back. Left foot at the top of the mat and step into runner's lunge. So that runner's lunge, draw that hip down if you can. It's grand. Take a moment here, runner's lunge. And then drop that back foot, which allows you to come to side angle position. Now, you can stay in side angle, or you can drop into that bind. So left, yes, it's the front arm. So it's the left arm inside the leg, which then allows you into the little bind, or stay in side angle. You can always play here, so the back foot steps up. You might be able to peel the left foot up into bird paradise. You might, I'm looking around the room, you might, yeah. Good for a giggle. I wouldn't normally do this if it was a cold room, and now I'm not balancing. I'm now wobbling everywhere. It is allowing that bind and then allowing your focus. Your focus, it really needs to be focused. I'm looking around the room, but to be able to then open the chest, to be able to lift up. So we're wobbling all over the place. That's good fun. So back to your little side angle position. And then that allows you to push through into triangle. Hand just to the back of the hip today. Or you can bring the hands up and over. Hand dropping to the front leg is also a nice thing to do. So we've got a little triangle variation here. And then opening to warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Come back to runner's lunge. Child's pose, vinyasa, choices. Maybe meeting in child's pose or downward facing dog, whichever is your choice. Just allowing yourself a moment. Just gently rising all the way back to stacked back position. And then we're going to drop to forearms here. Now, either you can just stay working here, pushing into the forearms, making sure the forearms are parallel with the side of the mat. So you can either work here and you can take a little cat-cow movement, or you can come to little dolphin pose, tucking the toes. And as we do, we lift the hips and then walk straight-legged towards yourself. Really keeping a pressure in the forearms. Well done. Allowing yourself to come back out when you're ready. Okay.
So what you can do with this, it's just starting to strengthen the forearms, it's just starting to strengthen the shoulders and the chest and give you that kind of base. It's a strong pose, but just make sure that you're evenly kind of putting weight into both sides. So just take a moment. If you have any water, you're very welcome. We're going to just play with it. We've got time for a little flow. This is the problem with starting the class and then going through, because I look at my watch and I keep having to remind myself that we didn't start at 7:30 and that actually we're not really only 5 minutes into class. We could keep going. So we're going to come to, and again, Alishka, if you're wanting to play with this, you can do a little bit of rolling up. Oh, it's a fly. Rolling up onto the feet and walking out. And you can even do a little stretch out to the side. Okay, just give you a couple of options. Because we're going to go forwards onto our bellies. So we're going to come into downward facing dog. We're going to anchor the left, lift the right. Tuck the right foot under to a little fallen triangle. You're going to bring that right hip all the way down to the mat, dip the arms and the chin, and then we're going to join Alishka. She's upright, but we're going to come into a seated wide fold. There we are. In your seated wide fold, you can just work here with your twist gently if you want, Alishka, or if you want to join me, left hand is going to come behind you, right hand's going to lift, and the right hip's going to lift up to the ceiling. Right hand is going to come all the way down, tuck yourself, your left knee, right knee behind into shoelace, and then sink into shoelace stretch. I did warn you I had a circular flow up my sleeve this evening. That's it, all the way back, unravel back into that wide-legged position. Alishka got there first. Yay! Right hand behind you, left hip lifts up to the sky. All the way back down. Left hand to the mat or the floor. Bend the right knee, lift the left in. You've got a little shoelace on the other side. That's it. All the way back, unravel, and then come into that wide seated position again. I'm still facing there, left. Hands are going to come forwards, right leg's going to come under you, and then step all the way up into right-legged dog. So right leg's going to come into tripod. Yeah. And then all the way down. Downward facing dog, right leg's going to anchor, left lifts to the sky. Left leg comes under into a little fallen start. But as we do, we don't come to the side plank, we come all the way down into a little dip, which allows us to push up into the wide leg the other side. Jenny's got it now, yay! The right hand comes behind, left lifts to the sky, left hip lifts to the sky into a little stretch. Left hand comes down to meet the right, right knee bends, left knee behind it into a shoelace stretch. Unravel all the way back into that wide fold, wide seated position. Okay, that's it. That's it, Jenny. Left hand down, Jenny. Right hand to the sky, right hip up all the way, lift. Right hand comes down, left knee bends, right knee behind into a shoelace stretch. All the way back, unravel, sit back into the wide fold. Excellent, got there, brilliant. Hands are going to come over, left knee is going to bend underneath us, right foot outstretched, left leg to the sky into tripod. Into downward facing dog. And take a last vinyasa up and over, wherever you want to go. Some of you are backwards, some of you are forwards. It's absolutely brilliant. All the way. And then bring yourself down into a wee child's pose, wherever you are. Just allow the breath to move. And then coming up from child's pose, bring yourself so you're facing the right way. And then allow yourself to come all the way to Dandasana. Let's just bring the legs into this. We are going to perfect that flow. That's our aim for March, is we're going to perfect that flow. So everyone's choreographed in the room. There we are, and at home too. This is very good. Just allow the back of the legs just to gently soften into the mat. Now you can either, we're going to come to our backs to a relaxation. So you can either come to a butterfly and just keep upright or seated, or you can come all the way down to your backs, allowing a little roll down. Just coming into a constructive rest pose, so wherever you're comfy. And just allow a moment. And then just allow just the legs back and forwards into a supine twist, if that's what you'd like. Or you could come into a fuller supine twist, just allowing the knees to stack. Whatever's comfy for you. Knees might come into your body. Allow yourself a little rock gently. I think it's heated up in here and all the floorboards are like starting to go, oh, we're expanding. We've been really, really cold since last June. All creaking. And then you've been working quite hard. So choose a relaxation pose, either knees together and feet either side, or even Supta Baddha Konasana, where you come into a reclined butterfly. Or if you're comfy, allow yourself up into a seated position. Wherever you are, if you're cooling down, just put on some layers and just take a moment. Just allow yourself to get comfy. Allow your body to settle. Just allow the breath just to relax. If you feel the need, gently to move the head side to side or settle the shoulder blades, then please do. And then take a really deep breath. And push that breath all the way down to the base of the spine, or even the heels, right the way down the body. Inhaling again, drawing that breath all the way back up. And pushing the breath all the way back down again. And then this time, use that breath. If you want to push that breath to a place where
you might feel any tension in the body or just needs a little bit of extra love and attention, then just take that breath, inhale that breath, and push that breath all the way to that point. And then just allow that breath just to release and just rise and fall. Just feeling that connection with the body, the mat. And then gently just move your fingers, move your toes. And just very gently, when you're ready, move onto your side. Just allowing just yourself to pause. Whenever you're ready, taking a moment to bring yourself back up to seated. Just allow yourself to come into seated. Just connecting the spine, elongating the spine, allowing the shoulders gently to drop and relax. Bringing the hands gently together. Taking an inhale and exhale. And thank you very much for joining class tonight.
Thank you.
I'm just going to switch recording. It was lovely to see Nick and Mark, and the Power Yoga is up from Monday, so enjoy it, Nick. There we are. Stop recording.
Sorry.